Your life begins to change when you stop trying to prove yourself and start improving yourself. How much of your energy have you spent trying to impress people who may never understand your journey? How many times have you explained your goals, defended your choices, or compared your progress with someone else's life? The more you focus on outside opinions, the less attention you give to the person who needs your effort the most, yourself. In a world full of noise, learning to focus on yourself and stay silent is a powerful skill. Silence is not weakness. It is the ability to protect your peace, control your emotions, and work on your growth without needing constant approval. This audiobook will help you understand how successful people build confidence, develop discipline, and create meaningful change by focusing on their own path. You will learn how to stop wasting energy on distractions, strengthen your mindset, and improve yourself every single day. Stay until the end, because these lessons will challenge the way you think, help you regain control of your life, and show you the power of becoming a stronger version of yourself without needing to announce every step. Chapter 1. Accept full responsibility for your own growth. There is one decision that changes a person's future more than almost anything else. It is the moment you stop waiting for someone else to build your life and accept that your future belongs to you. That moment is quiet. There is no applause. There is no crowd cheering for you. There is only one simple decision. From this day forward, I am responsible for the person I become. Many people spend years looking around instead of looking within. They blame their family. They blame their boss. They blame the economy. They blame bad luck. They blame people who did not believe in them. Every excuse feels comfortable because it removes pressure. If it is someone else's fault, then you do not have to change. But comfort has never built a meaningful life. Growth begins the moment excuses end. The hardest conversation you will ever have is not with another person, it is with yourself. Looking into your own heart and saying, "I need to improve," takes courage. Admitting that your habits need to change takes honesty. Facing your weaknesses without running away takes strength. Most people avoid this conversation because it feels uncomfortable. They would rather stay busy talking about other people than spend one quiet hour improving themselves. The truth is simple. Your future does not care about your excuses. Your future responds only to your actions. Every day you either move forward or you remain where you are. Every choice has a result. Every habit has a result. Every hour has a result. Your life tomorrow is being created by what you choose today. Think about the people you admire. They did not become strong because life was easy. They became strong because they accepted responsibility. They understood that waiting would not change anything, complaining would not improve anything, wishing would not create anything. They went to work on themselves every single day. There is something powerful about focusing on your own growth instead of trying to prove yourself to everyone else. When your attention stays on your own improvement, your mind becomes calmer. You waste less energy. You stop comparing your progress with someone else's progress. You begin to notice your own opportunities instead of watching everyone else's success. Many people spend hours checking what others are doing. They know every detail about another person's life, but almost nothing about their own habits. Ask yourself one honest question. How much time do you spend studying your own life compared to studying someone else's life? That answer explains a great deal about your current results. Responsibility is not punishment. Responsibility is freedom. The moment you accept that your choices shape your future, you also gain the power to create a different future. If your choices created today's results, then better choices can create tomorrow's results. That is good news, because it means your story is still being written. Every morning gives you another opportunity. You wake up with 24 hours. No one can stop you from improving your attitude. No one can stop you from reading one more page. No one can stop you from learning one new skill. No one can stop you from treating people with respect. These choices belong to you. They are available every single day. Growth is usually quiet. It happens while nobody is paying attention. The person who becomes healthier does not become healthier in one afternoon. The person who becomes wiser does not become wiser after hearing one speech. Real change happens through repeated actions. Small improvements repeated every day become extraordinary results over time. Many people quit because they cannot see immediate success. They work hard for a week and expect their entire life to change. They become disappointed because progress feels slow. But remember this: the strongest tree did not grow in one season. Real improvement takes patience. Every meaningful achievement is built one day at a time. Your habits tell the truth about your priorities. Words are easy. Promises are easy. Good intentions are easy. Habits reveal what truly matters to you. If you say your future matters, then your daily actions should agree with those words. If they do not agree, then something must change. Accepting responsibility also means protecting your time. Time is your most valuable resource, because once it is gone, you cannot earn it back. Be careful where you invest it. Every unnecessary argument steals time. Every distraction steals time. Every negative conversation steals time. Guard your hours, because your future is built from them. There will always be people who misunderstand you. There will always be people who doubt your ability. Some people may even criticize your decisions. You cannot control their opinions. You can only control your response. The strongest response is not always speaking louder. Sometimes the strongest response is continuing your work without interruption. Silence has value because it protects your focus. You do not need to explain every goal. You do not need permission to improve your life. You do not need approval to become stronger. Your results will eventually speak more clearly than your explanations ever could. Imagine finishing each day knowing you kept your promises to yourself. Imagine going to bed knowing you honored your responsibilities. That feeling builds confidence. Confidence does not come from talking about success. Confidence comes from keeping commitments, even when nobody is watching. There will be difficult mornings. There will be days when your motivation feels low. That is normal. Every successful person has experienced those moments. The difference is simple. They continued anyway. They understood that discipline carries you when motivation becomes weak. Your environment matters. Pay attention to the voices you allow into your mind. Constant negativity slowly weakens your belief in yourself. Choose books that teach you. Choose conversations that encourage growth. Choose people who challenge you to become better. Your mind deserves healthy input because your future depends on what you repeatedly hear and believe. Do not expect perfection from yourself. Expect progress. Mistakes will happen. Failure will happen. Disappointment will happen. None of these experiences define you unless you refuse to learn from them. Every mistake contains a lesson if your attitude stays humble enough to receive it. Every evening, ask yourself a few honest questions. Did I become a little wiser today? Did I become more patient today? Did I use my time well today? Did I move one step closer to the person I want to become? Honest answers create honest growth. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is consistency. Many people chase excitement. Very few people master consistency, yet consistency changes lives. Reading every day changes your thinking. Exercising every day changes your body. Practicing gratitude every day changes your attitude. Saving money every month changes your financial future. Kindness practiced every day changes your relationships. Your future self is watching the decisions you make today. Every healthy habit is a gift to that future person. Every wise decision is an investment. Every hour spent learning adds value that nobody can take away. Skills remain with you. Character remains with you. Discipline remains with you. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Life rarely gives perfect conditions. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Use the knowledge you already possess. Improve one small area today. Tomorrow improve another. Over time, those small victories become a completely different life. The person standing in your way is often the person looking back at you in the mirror. That should never discourage you, because it also means the person capable of changing your future is looking back at you in the same mirror. You have more influence over your life than you sometimes believe. Accept full responsibility for your own growth, because nobody else can think for you. Nobody else can build your character. Nobody else can develop your discipline. Nobody else can create your future. This responsibility may feel heavy at first, but it soon becomes the greatest source of confidence you will ever experience. Every day you choose growth instead of excuses, action instead of delay, and discipline instead of comfort. You become stronger than you were yesterday. That is how real transformation begins, and that is how extraordinary lives are built one ordinary day at a time. Chapter 2. Choose silence over every needless argument. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing they must feel inspired before they begin. They sit quietly waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect day, or the perfect feeling. They believe that one morning they will wake up full of energy, full of confidence, and ready to change their lives. Days pass, weeks pass, months pass. Nothing changes because they are waiting for something that was never designed to lead them. Feelings are not dependable. Some mornings you wake up excited. Other mornings you wake up tired. Some days your mind feels clear. Other days your thoughts feel heavy. If your progress depends on how you feel, your future will always be uncertain. A successful life cannot be built on changing emotions. It must be built on steady decisions. The people who accomplish meaningful things understand an important truth. Action creates motivation far more often than motivation creates action. The first step is usually the hardest, because your mind wants comfort. It wants to avoid effort. It wants to stay exactly where it is, because familiar routines feel safe. But growth rarely begins inside comfort. Growth begins when you move despite your hesitation. There is a difference between wishing for change and preparing for change. Wishing requires very little effort. Preparation requires commitment. It means getting up when staying in bed sounds easier. It means opening the book, even when television feels more entertaining. It means practicing a skill when nobody is watching. These small choices may not feel exciting in the moment, but they quietly build a stronger future. Think about the days when you accomplished something important. Did everything feel easy before you started? Probably not. In many cases, you simply began. Once you became involved in the work, your energy increased. Your attention became sharper. Your confidence grew because progress was happening. That is how the human mind often works. Movement creates momentum. Many people spend too much time studying success while avoiding the work that produces success. Reading inspirational words has value, but those words become powerful only when they are followed by action. Listening to encouraging messages can lift your spirit, but encouragement without effort fades quickly. Knowledge becomes valuable only after it enters your daily routine. Your habits are stronger than temporary excitement. Excitement rises and falls. Habits remain. If brushing your teeth depended on motivation, many people would forget to do it. You do it because it has become automatic. Imagine building your personal growth the same way. Reading each day becomes automatic. Exercising becomes automatic. Learning becomes automatic. Keeping your promises becomes automatic. Once healthy habits become part of your daily life, waiting for inspiration is no longer necessary. The human mind enjoys immediate comfort. It naturally looks for the easiest path. That is why so many dreams remain unfinished. The mind says you can begin tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Before long, another year has disappeared. Time continues moving whether you take action or not. Do not underestimate the cost of delay. Every postponed opportunity quietly becomes a missed opportunity. Every skill you refuse to practice remains weak. Every conversation you avoid may contain a lesson you never receive. Every decision to wait slowly shapes a future you never intended to create. Instead of asking yourself whether you feel motivated, ask a better question. What is the next small action I can complete right now? Keep the question simple, because simple questions produce clear answers. Make one phone call, read 5 pages, walk for 20 minutes. Organize your workspace, practice one lesson, finish one task. Small actions remove the pressure that often prevents people from starting. Many individuals become overwhelmed because they focus only on the final destination. They see the entire mountain instead of the next step. They imagine years of effort instead of today's responsibility. When your attention stays on today's work, progress feels possible. One completed task leads naturally to another. There will be moments when your mind tries to negotiate with you. It will suggest taking another break. It will promise that tomorrow will be a better day. It will search for reasons to avoid effort. Learn to recognize those moments without obeying them. You are not required to follow every thought that enters your mind. You have the ability to choose your response. Self-respect grows every time you keep a promise to yourself. When you decide to complete something and you follow through, your confidence becomes stronger. Your mind begins to trust your own words. That trust is valuable because it changes the way you see yourself. You stop thinking of yourself as someone who talks about goals. You begin seeing yourself as someone who finishes what they start. Do not measure your progress only by dramatic achievements. Pay attention to quiet victories. Waking up when the alarm rings, instead of pressing the button again, is a victory. Choosing healthy food instead of unhealthy habits is a victory. Remaining focused instead of becoming distracted is a victory. Saving money instead of wasting it is a victory. These moments may seem small, but together they reshape your character. There is also great value in preparing your environment for success. Make good decisions easier. Keep your books where you can reach them. Prepare your workout clothes the night before. Keep your workspace clean. Remove unnecessary distractions. A wise environment supports wise behavior. Your surroundings influence your choices more than you may realize. Another important lesson is learning to finish what you begin. Starting feels exciting because it brings hope. Finishing requires discipline because excitement eventually fades. Complete the project, complete the course, complete the promise you made to yourself. Every completed effort strengthens your belief that you are capable of greater things. Be careful about comparing your beginning with someone else's years of experience. Every accomplished person started without knowing everything. Every expert was once uncertain. Every confident speaker once felt nervous. Every successful business owner once faced questions without clear answers. Improvement belongs to those who remain willing to continue learning. Your daily routine reveals your future more accurately than your dreams. Dreams inspire you, but routines shape you. If your routine supports growth, your future becomes brighter. If your routine supports delay, your future becomes limited. That is why ordinary days deserve extraordinary attention. Your ordinary choices eventually create extraordinary results. One powerful habit is beginning before you feel completely ready. Waiting until every detail is perfect often becomes another excuse for delay. Learn what you can, prepare wisely, and then begin. Experience teaches lessons that planning alone never can. Confidence grows through participation, not observation. Remember that difficult days are not signs that you should stop. They are opportunities to prove that your commitment is real. Anyone can work when everything feels easy. Character becomes visible when conditions become uncomfortable. Those moments quietly separate people who merely hope from people who truly grow. Protect your attention throughout the day. Constant interruptions weaken your ability to produce meaningful work. Give your full attention to one important task at a time. Finish it well, then move to the next responsibility. A focused hour often produces more value than an entire day filled with distractions. Take pride in becoming dependable. Dependability is a quality that earns trust from others and from yourself. When you repeatedly honor your commitments, your reputation becomes stronger. More importantly, your own mind begins expecting excellence from you instead of excuses. There will always be reasons to postpone improvement. Life will always present unexpected challenges. Responsibilities will compete for your attention. Circumstances will rarely become perfect. Accept this reality without frustration. The purpose is not to find an ideal day. The purpose is to make today useful. Each sunrise offers a fresh opportunity to practice discipline, not because discipline feels pleasant every moment, but because discipline protects your future. Every worthwhile achievement asks for consistent effort long before it offers visible rewards. Those who understand this continue moving, while others remain trapped in endless preparation. Stop searching outside yourself for the spark that only your own decisions can create. The greatest source of drive is knowing that your actions today are shaping the person you will become tomorrow. Do not wait for excitement to appear before you begin. Create your own momentum through steady effort. Create your own confidence by keeping your word. Create your own energy by taking the first step. Once you begin, The next step becomes easier, and after enough faithful steps, you will discover that the life you once hoped for was never waiting for motivation. It was waiting for your decision to move. Chapter 3. Guard your energy with daily self-control. Every person wakes up with a limited amount of mental, emotional, and physical energy. It does not matter how successful you are or how many opportunities stand in front of you. Your energy is not unlimited. Once it is wasted on things that add no value, there is less available for the work that truly matters. That is why learning self-control is not about restricting your life. It is about protecting the strength you need to build a better one. Many people think success depends only on talent or intelligence. Those qualities have value, but they are not enough. A person with great ability who cannot control their emotions, words, attention, or reactions often struggles more than someone with average ability and strong discipline. Self-control allows your strengths to work together instead of pulling against each other. Your day begins long before you speak to anyone else. The first few minutes after waking up often set the direction for everything that follows. If your mind immediately becomes filled with noise, worry, or endless distractions, your attention becomes scattered before your day has truly begun. Instead, choose a peaceful start. Sit quietly for a few moments. Think about what deserves your attention today. Remind yourself that your focus is valuable and should not be handed away without purpose. One careless decision can affect the next several hours. One thoughtful decision can do the same. This is why small choices deserve respect. Choosing patience instead of anger changes conversations. Choosing healthy food instead of unhealthy habits changes how your body feels. Choosing to finish an important task before checking endless updates changes your productivity. Your future is influenced by ordinary decisions repeated over time. Many people lose energy without realizing where it disappeared. They spend hours worrying about situations they cannot control. They replay old conversations. They imagine problems that have not happened. They become emotionally exhausted by thoughts that never produce solutions. Your mind was created to solve problems, not to carry unnecessary weight all day. Ask yourself a simple question whenever your mind feels overwhelmed. Is this thought helping me move forward or holding me in one place? That single question can change the direction of your thinking. If the thought serves no useful purpose, release it. Your attention deserves better. Self-control is especially important during difficult moments. Anyone can remain calm when everything is going well. The real test comes when plans change, when people disappoint you, or when unexpected problems appear. Those moments reveal your habits. They reveal whether your emotions lead your decisions or your values guide your actions. You cannot control everything that happens around you, but you always have influence over the way you respond. This truth gives tremendous freedom. It means your peace does not have to depend on perfect circumstances. It can be built from wise responses made one situation at a time. Some people allow every opinion to enter their minds. Every criticism affects them. Every negative comment follows them throughout the day. Every disagreement steals their peace. Eventually, they become tired without understanding why. The reason is simple. They have given strangers permission to control their emotional state. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Some words should be heard and learned from. Others should simply pass by without leaving a mark. Wisdom grows when you learn the difference. Listening to every voice creates confusion. Listening to principles that improve your character creates stability. Guarding your energy also means choosing your conversations carefully. There are discussions that lead to learning, understanding, and encouragement. There are also conversations that produce nothing except frustration. You do not have to participate in every disagreement. You do not have to answer every criticism. Sometimes, protecting your peace requires saying very little. Silence often requires greater strength than speaking. Remaining calm while others become emotional demands maturity. Refusing to react immediately gives your mind time to think clearly. A thoughtful response has greater value than a quick reaction driven by emotion. Pay attention to how your body feels throughout the day. Constant exhaustion is not always caused by hard work. Sometimes it comes from carrying unnecessary stress. Tight shoulders, restless sleep, and an anxious mind often signal that you have been holding on to things that should have been released long ago. Your body speaks honestly. Learn to notice what it is telling you. Healthy routines help protect your energy. Drinking enough water supports your body. Nutritious meals support your concentration. Regular movement strengthens both your body and your mind. Quality sleep restores your ability to think clearly. These habits may appear ordinary, yet they influence nearly every area of your life. Many people search for complicated answers while ignoring simple daily practices. The basics may not appear exciting, but they are powerful. A healthy body supports a focused mind. A focused mind makes better decisions. Better decisions produce better results. Another important form of self-control is managing your attention. Modern life constantly competes for your focus. Every notification asks for a moment of your time. Every advertisement tries to capture your interest. Every distraction quietly interrupts your thinking. If you never decide where your attention belongs, someone else will decide for you. Practice giving your complete attention to one responsibility at a time. When you read, truly read. When you work, fully work. When you spend time with family, be fully present. Divided attention weakens the quality of every experience. Full attention improves both your performance and your relationships. Emotional strength grows through practice. When frustration appears, pause before speaking. When disappointment arrives, take time to think before making important decisions. Strong emotions are temporary. Permanent decisions should never be made during temporary emotional storms. One valuable habit is creating space between an event and your response. That brief pause allows wisdom to enter the situation. Instead of reacting automatically, ask yourself what outcome you truly want. This simple habit prevents many regrets and strengthens your character over time. Your standards shape your future. Decide in advance the kind of person you want to become. Decide that honesty matters, even when dishonesty seems easier. Decide that respect matters, even when others behave poorly. Decide that discipline matters, even when comfort seems more attractive. These decisions become personal rules that guide you when emotions become unreliable. Self-control is not about becoming cold or emotionless. It is about directing your emotions instead of allowing them to direct you. Joy becomes deeper when it is balanced by gratitude. Confidence becomes stronger when it is supported by humility. Ambition becomes healthier when it is guided by patience. There will be days when you fail to meet your own expectations. You may lose your temper. You may waste valuable time. You may speak before thinking. Do not allow one mistake to define your identity. Learn from it honestly. Ask yourself what triggered the situation and how you can respond differently next time. Growth comes from reflection, followed by improvement. Protecting your energy also requires setting healthy boundaries. Not every request deserves a yes. Not every opportunity fits your purpose. Not every invitation supports your goals. Saying no to what weakens your focus creates room for what strengthens your future. Remember that your life is built one day at a time. Every day offers hundreds of opportunities to practice self-control. The choice to remain patient in traffic. The choice to stay kind when someone is rude. The choice to complete an important responsibility before seeking entertainment. These moments appear ordinary, yet they quietly shape the person you become. People often notice dramatic achievements while overlooking the quiet habits behind them. They celebrate the finished result without seeing the months or years of consistent discipline that made it possible. Real success is rarely created in one extraordinary moment. It is built through countless ordinary decisions made with care and purpose. Guard your mind against bitterness, because bitterness steals more from the person carrying it than from the person who caused it. Guard your words because they reveal the condition of your heart. Guard your attention because whatever repeatedly receives your focus gradually influences your character. Guard your habits because they become the foundation of your future. Each evening, spend a few quiet moments reviewing your day. Ask yourself whether your choices protected your peace or weakened it. Notice where you showed patience. Notice where you need greater discipline. This honest reflection helps tomorrow become better than today. The strongest person in the room is not always the loudest or the most impressive. True strength belongs to the person who can remain steady when life becomes uncertain, who can stay focused when distractions multiply, who can act with wisdom instead of impulse, and who understands that every decision either protects or drains the energy needed to build a meaningful life. Guard your energy every day through self-control, because your attention, your peace, and your character are among the greatest treasures you will ever possess. Chapter 4. Replace excuses with consistent personal action. There comes a point in every person's life when they must choose between two paths. One path feels comfortable because it asks for nothing except another explanation. The other path feels demanding because it requires action. One path keeps your problems alive. The other slowly changes your future. Every day you stand at that same decision, whether you realize it or not. Excuses often sound reasonable. They usually contain enough truth to feel convincing. You may not have enough time. You may not have enough money. You may not know the right people. You may have experienced disappointment. Some of these challenges are real. Life is not always fair, but the important question is not whether the challenge exists. The important question is what you choose to do next. Many people spend years becoming experts at explaining why something cannot be done. They collect reasons until they begin believing those reasons describe their identity. They stop seeing possibilities because their attention stays fixed on limitations. The longer they repeat those explanations, the more difficult it becomes to imagine a different future. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. If every morning begins with thoughts about everything that is impossible, your confidence slowly disappears. If your thinking becomes centered on solutions instead of obstacles, your perspective begins to change. The situation may remain difficult, but your ability to handle it becomes stronger. Successful people are not people without problems. They are people who refuse to allow problems to become permanent excuses. They understand that progress often begins before every answer is available. They keep learning while moving. They keep improving while facing uncertainty. They keep building while others remain trapped in endless preparation. There is a quiet strength in becoming a person who acts instead of waiting. Action creates experience. Experience creates wisdom. Wisdom creates better decisions. Better decisions create a better life. This process cannot be rushed, but it can begin today with one meaningful choice. Think about how often opportunities disappear because someone delayed too long. A business idea remained only an idea. A healthy habit was postponed until another month. A valuable conversation never happened because fear kept winning. Every delay quietly closes doors that were once open. Fear often disguises itself as logic. It tells you that more preparation is necessary. It tells you that the timing is wrong. It tells you to wait until you feel completely confident. In reality, confidence is usually the result of action, not the requirement for it. Every skill grows through practice. Every achievement begins with imperfect effort. There is no shame in starting small. In fact, small beginnings often lead to remarkable outcomes because they remove the pressure of perfection. Read one chapter instead of waiting to finish an entire book. Save a small amount instead of believing you need a large income before becoming financially responsible. Walk for 15 minutes instead of believing exercise requires hours. Small actions repeated faithfully become part of who you are. People sometimes underestimate the value of ordinary effort because it does not produce immediate applause. Yet the greatest improvements usually happen where no audience exists. Quiet work has enormous power. The page you study tonight, the skill you practice after work, the promise you keep when nobody notices, these moments shape your future more than dramatic announcements ever will. One habit worth developing is asking better questions. Instead of asking why life is difficult, ask what lesson this situation can teach. Instead of asking why success belongs to others, ask what ability you can improve. Instead of asking whether the journey will be easy, ask whether the destination is worth the effort. Better questions produce better thinking, and better thinking produces better choices. Another common excuse is believing that one mistake ruins everything. Nothing could be further from the truth. Every meaningful journey includes setbacks. Every person who has achieved something worthwhile has experienced moments when things did not go according to plan. What matters is not avoiding every mistake. What matters is refusing to stop because of one mistake. Treat failure as information rather than identity. A result that falls short simply tells you something needs adjustment. It does not declare that you are incapable. It does not decide your future. It simply provides another opportunity to improve your approach. There is also great danger in comparing your progress with someone else's timeline. Comparison creates unnecessary pressure because you rarely see the full story. You see today's achievement, but not yesterday's sacrifice. You see the visible success, but not the invisible discipline. Stay committed to your own journey. Your responsibility is not to match another person's pace. Your responsibility is to become better than you were yesterday. Consistency has a quiet influence that many people overlook. A single productive day feels good, but one productive day alone changes very little. Real transformation appears when productive days become productive weeks, productive months, and productive years. Consistency builds trust within yourself. Each completed responsibility strengthens your belief that you can rely on your own actions. Do not underestimate the importance of finishing simple tasks, making your bed, cleaning your workspace, organizing your schedule, returning important calls, completing assignments before deadlines. These habits train your mind to respect responsibility. They create order where disorder once existed. There will be seasons when progress feels slow. You may work diligently without seeing immediate results. Those are the moments when many people give up. They assume their effort is being wasted because visible rewards have not yet appeared. Be patient during those seasons. Seeds remain unseen before they become visible growth. Your effort is often developing qualities that success will eventually require. Your character becomes stronger each time you choose responsibility over convenience. Responsibility asks you to finish what you began. It asks you to arrive prepared. It asks you to speak honestly. It asks you to honor your commitments, even when nobody checks your work. These choices build a reputation that opens doors throughout life. It is also important to recognize how much influence your daily language has over your behavior. Listen carefully to the words you use. If you constantly say you cannot, you probably will not. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you are trying, you leave room to quit. Replace uncertain language with clear commitment. Tell yourself that you will learn, you will improve, you will continue, and you will complete the task before you. Every evening provides an opportunity to measure your day honestly. Ask yourself whether your actions reflected your priorities. Did you invest time in what truly matters? Did you avoid unnecessary distractions? Did you complete the responsibilities you promised yourself? Honest reflection creates honest progress because it reveals where improvement is still needed. Your environment also deserves attention. Spend time with people who value effort instead of excuses. Notice how disciplined individuals speak. They rarely complain about what they cannot control. They direct their attention toward what they can improve. That attitude is contagious. When you surround yourself with people who respect responsibility, your own standards begin to rise. Remember that action does not always require dramatic change. Sometimes the most valuable step is making one better decision than yesterday. Drink another glass of water. Read another page. Practice another hour. Learn another lesson. Encourage another person. These ordinary choices may seem insignificant by themselves, but together they create extraordinary momentum. One of the greatest rewards of consistent action is peace of mind. When you know you gave your best effort, you no longer spend your evenings wondering what might have happened if you had tried. You rest knowing you honored your responsibilities. That quiet confidence cannot be purchased. It is earned through faithful daily effort. There will always be people who spend more energy explaining than improving. Do not become one of them. Let your attention remain on your own progress. Allow your actions to become stronger than your explanations. Every completed task is a statement about your character. Every promise you keep strengthens the foundation of your future. Life does not ask for perfection, it asks for persistence. You do not need extraordinary talent to become dependable. You need the willingness to continue when enthusiasm fades. You need the courage to begin before every fear disappears. You need the discipline to keep moving when results are still out of sight. Each sunrise places another opportunity in your hands. You can spend it creating another excuse, or you can spend it creating another step forward. One path feels easier today, but becomes heavier tomorrow. The other requires effort today, but creates freedom in the years ahead. Replace excuses with consistent personal action, because your future is not shaped by the reasons you give. It is shaped by the work you choose to do, the promises you choose to keep, and the quiet determination to move forward, one faithful day after another. Chapter 5. Train your mind to ignore opinions. One of the greatest battles you will ever face is not against failure, difficult circumstances, or limited resources. It is the battle for control over your own mind. The moment you allow every opinion to decide how you feel about yourself, you hand your future to people who are not responsible for your life. That is a dangerous habit because opinions change every day. If your confidence changes with them, you will never have a stable foundation. There will always be people who believe in you, and there will always be people who doubt you. Some will encourage your dreams, others will question every decision you make. This has always been true, and it will always remain true. The important question is not what other people think. The important question is whether you know who you are and where you are going. Many people spend years trying to satisfy everyone around them. They adjust their goals to please one person. They change their personality to gain acceptance from another. They hide their true ambitions because they fear criticism. Slowly, without realizing it, they stop living their own lives and begin living according to other people's expectations. Nothing drains a person's confidence faster than constantly seeking approval. Approval feels good for a moment, but it never lasts. The same people who praise you today may disagree with you tomorrow. If your peace depends on their changing opinions, your emotions will rise and fall every time someone speaks. Think about how much energy is wasted trying to explain every decision. Every dream does not need an audience. Every plan does not require permission. Every improvement does not need public recognition. Some of the most important work in your life should happen quietly while your attention remains on becoming stronger, wiser, and more disciplined. There is a difference between listening to wise advice and becoming controlled by opinions. Wise advice helps you improve. It points out mistakes with respect and offers practical direction. Random opinions often come from people who do not understand your journey, your goals, or your values. Learning this difference protects your peace and strengthens your judgment. Not everyone deserves a seat at the table where your important decisions are made. Be respectful to everyone, but be careful about whose voice carries weight in your mind. If someone has never shown discipline, why should their criticism define your future? If someone constantly lives with negativity, why should their outlook become your reality? Many people speak from their own fears instead of your potential. They tell you something cannot be done because they never attempted it themselves. They discourage you because they are uncomfortable taking risks. They expect you to remain where you are because your growth reminds them of the changes they have avoided. Their words describe their thinking, not your limits. When you understand this truth, something powerful happens. You stop taking every negative comment personally. You realize that many opinions are reflections of another person's experiences, disappointments, or beliefs. That understanding gives you emotional freedom. You no longer carry unnecessary weight that was never yours to carry. One of the healthiest habits you can develop is learning to pause before accepting criticism. Ask yourself a few honest questions. Is this person trying to help me become better? Do they know enough about my situation to give useful advice? Are their words based on facts or assumptions? These simple questions prevent unnecessary doubt from entering your mind. There will be times when people misunderstand your silence. Some will assume you have become distant. Others may believe you have changed. The truth is often much simpler. You have become focused. You no longer feel the need to defend every choice or respond to every opinion. Your attention is directed toward building a life that reflects your values instead of satisfying everyone's expectations. Emotional maturity grows when you stop reacting to every comment. Not every disagreement deserves a response. Not every criticism requires an explanation. Sometimes the strongest decision is continuing your work without allowing outside noise to interrupt your purpose. Many people become distracted because they spend more time defending their plans than actually working on them. Hours disappear in unnecessary conversations. Days are lost trying to convince people who never intended to understand. Imagine using that same time to improve your skills, strengthen your character, or complete meaningful work. The results would speak far more clearly than endless explanations. Do not confuse popularity with purpose. These are two very different things. Popularity depends on pleasing people. Purpose depends on staying faithful to what truly matters. There will be moments when choosing purpose means accepting that not everyone will agree with you. That is part of growth. A meaningful life cannot be built by constantly avoiding disagreement. Pay attention to the conversations you have with yourself. Sometimes the loudest opinion is not coming from another person. It comes from your own inner voice repeating old doubts. Perhaps someone criticized you years ago, and those words still influence your confidence today. Do not allow yesterday's voices to decide tomorrow's possibilities. Replace those old thoughts with stronger truths. Remind yourself that your value does not disappear because someone failed to recognize it. Your ability does not vanish because another person questioned it. Your future is not determined by someone's opinion. It is shaped by your willingness to continue learning, improving, and acting with integrity. Confidence grows through evidence, not empty promises. Every time you finish a responsibility, you create evidence that you are dependable. Every skill you develop creates evidence that you are improving. Every challenge you overcome creates evidence that you are stronger than you once believed. Build your confidence through consistent action instead of waiting for compliments. It is also important to become comfortable with being misunderstood from time to time. No matter how honest you are, someone may still judge your intentions incorrectly. No matter how hard you work, someone may overlook your effort. Accept this reality without bitterness. Your responsibility is to live with character, not to control every opinion. Protect your attention from unnecessary comparisons. Modern life makes it easy to measure yourself against thousands of people every day. You see their achievements, their celebrations, and their successes. What you rarely see are their struggles, sacrifices, disappointments, and difficult seasons. Comparing your complete life with someone else's highlight moments creates an unfair picture. Instead, compare yourself with the person you were 6 months ago. Are you more patient? Have you become more disciplined? Do you handle pressure with greater wisdom? Have you learned new skills? These are meaningful questions because they focus on personal growth rather than public approval. Learn to appreciate constructive correction without allowing destructive criticism to damage your spirit. Every successful person remains teachable. Pride prevents growth, but insecurity also prevents growth. A balanced person listens carefully, accepts useful lessons, and quietly leaves behind words that offer no value. There will be moments when standing by your principles feels lonely. Continue anyway. Character is not measured by how many people agree with you. Character is measured by your willingness to do what is right, even when it is unpopular. Integrity has a quiet strength that becomes more valuable with time. The people who truly matter in your life will respect your commitment to becoming a better person. They may challenge you with honesty. They may encourage you during difficult seasons. They will celebrate your progress without asking you to become someone you are not. Treasure relationships like these because they strengthen rather than weaken your purpose. As you continue growing, you may notice that your circle becomes smaller. Do not fear this change if it is the result of healthier choices. Quality relationships bring peace, wisdom, and encouragement. A small group of trustworthy people is often more valuable than a large crowd offering empty approval. Practice ending each day with gratitude instead of seeking validation. Be thankful for the lessons you learned, the work you completed, the kindness you showed, and the progress you made. Gratitude shifts your attention away from what others think and back toward what truly matters. Remember that every minute spent worrying about opinions is a minute unavailable for building your future. Every hour spent proving yourself is an hour that could have been invested in becoming stronger. Guard your attention carefully because it is one of your greatest resources. Your life is too valuable to be directed by passing comments, careless judgments, or changing expectations. Walk your path with humility. Remain open to wisdom. Stay respectful even when others disagree with you. Continue developing your abilities without seeking constant recognition. The strongest confidence comes from knowing that you are living according to your values, improving day by day, and refusing to allow outside opinions to become the author of your life. When your mind is trained to ignore unnecessary opinions, you gain something far greater than approval. You gain the freedom to become the person you were created to be. Chapter 6. Strengthen your character through quiet persistence. Character is not built during the moments when life feels easy. It is shaped during the ordinary days when nobody is watching, nobody is praising you, and nobody is reminding you to keep going. Those quiet moments reveal who you truly are. They show whether you will continue moving forward simply because you know it is the right thing to do. Many people admire success, but very few admire the long period of steady effort that comes before it. They see the finished result, but never notice the early mornings, the difficult decisions, the lonely hours of learning, or the commitment to continue when nothing seems to be changing. Character grows in those hidden moments. It grows every time you choose purpose over comfort without expecting immediate recognition. There is something powerful about becoming a person who does not need constant attention to remain committed. Some people work hard only when others are watching. They perform well only when there is a reward waiting at the end. But true strength appears when your standards remain high, even if nobody ever applauds your effort. That kind of discipline creates lasting confidence because it comes from within, not from outside approval. Persistence is often misunderstood. Many believe it means forcing yourself to keep moving no matter what. Real persistence is wiser than that. It means staying committed while continuing to learn. It means adjusting your methods without abandoning your purpose. It means accepting that progress is rarely a straight line. Some days feel productive, other days feel slow. Yet both kinds of days can move you forward if you refuse to stop. Life will test your patience in unexpected ways. There will be seasons when your work seems unnoticed. You may give your best effort and receive little appreciation. You may improve your skills while opportunities appear delayed. You may remain faithful to your values while others seem to gain quick rewards through shortcuts. During those moments, your character is quietly asking one important question. Will you continue doing what is right, even when the reward has not yet arrived? The answer to that question shapes your future more than you may realize. A person who depends on quick results often becomes discouraged when progress slows down. They mistake temporary silence for permanent failure. They assume nothing is happening because they cannot yet see the outcome. But many valuable things develop long before they become visible. Confidence develops through repeated victories over doubt. Wisdom develops through repeated lessons. Trust develops through repeated honesty. These qualities cannot be rushed because they are earned through time. One of the greatest advantages you can give yourself is becoming dependable. Imagine being the kind of person who keeps showing up, the kind of person who finishes important responsibilities, the kind of person others trust because your actions consistently match your words. Dependability may not attract immediate attention, but it creates opportunities that talent alone cannot provide. Think about your daily promises. Every promise you keep strengthens your integrity. Every promise you ignore weakens your belief in yourself. This is why even small commitments matter. If you decide to read for 30 minutes, honor that decision. If you decide to improve a skill, remain faithful to your schedule. These simple acts teach your mind that your words have value. Character is not revealed by what you intend to do someday. It is revealed by what you repeatedly choose today. Many people become frustrated because they expect growth to feel exciting every day. That expectation creates disappointment. Some days will feel ordinary. Some tasks will feel repetitive. Some responsibilities will seem small. Yet these ordinary moments are where lasting habits are formed. Excellence is rarely created through dramatic events. More often, it is created through ordinary actions performed with extraordinary consistency. There will be mornings when your enthusiasm is low. There will be evenings when you wonder whether your effort matters. During those times, remember why you began. Do not allow temporary emotions to erase permanent goals. Feelings change from day to day, but principles remain steady. Let your principles guide your actions when emotions become uncertain. Another important lesson is learning to value steady improvement instead of dramatic change. Many people look for one event that will completely transform their lives. They believe one opportunity, one conversation, or one breakthrough will solve everything. While important moments certainly exist, lasting transformation usually happens through smaller improvements, repeated over a long period. Become interested in getting 1% better today. Learn one useful lesson. Improve one habit. Correct one mistake. Show one additional act of kindness. Solve one problem more effectively than yesterday. These small improvements may appear insignificant, but over months and years they create remarkable change. Quiet persistence also protects you from becoming distracted by temporary excitement. New ideas appear every day. New trends promise instant success. New shortcuts attract attention because they seem easier than disciplined effort. Be careful not to abandon meaningful work simply because something new appears attractive. Stay faithful to principles that have proven their value over time. Honesty is another foundation of strong character. Honest people do not pretend to know everything. They admit mistakes. They ask questions. They remain teachable. This attitude allows continuous growth because learning never stops. The moment you believe there is nothing left to improve, your progress begins to slow. Humility and confidence work well together. Humility reminds you there is always more to learn. Confidence reminds you that you are capable of learning it. Together, they create a balanced mindset that encourages steady growth without pride or insecurity. You will also discover that quiet persistence changes the way you respond to setbacks. Instead of becoming discouraged by every obstacle, you begin asking better questions. What can this situation teach me? Which ability should I strengthen? How can I respond with greater wisdom next time? Every challenge becomes an opportunity to develop greater maturity. There is tremendous value in finishing difficult things. Completing a challenging project teaches endurance. Keeping a difficult promise teaches integrity. Remaining patient during uncomfortable seasons teaches emotional strength. These experiences become part of your character, and nobody can take them away from you. Avoid measuring your value by how quickly results appear. Some achievements require longer preparation because they demand greater maturity. If success arrived before your character was ready to handle it, the success itself could become a burden instead of a blessing. Sometimes the waiting period is preparing you for responsibilities you cannot yet see. Relationships also reveal the strength of your character. Treat people with respect, even when they cannot offer you anything in return. Listen carefully before speaking. Be reliable when someone depends on you. Keep private matters private. Speak truthfully without becoming harsh. Small acts of integrity strengthen both your relationships and your self-respect. Your private life deserves the same standards as your public life. It is easy to appear disciplined for a short time in front of others. The greater challenge is maintaining those same values when no one knows what choices you are making. Character grows strongest when your private decisions match your public principles. Patience is another form of quiet persistence. Some goals require more time than you expected. Some lessons take longer to understand. Some opportunities arrive later than planned. Do not confuse delay with defeat. Continue preparing yourself while waiting. When opportunity finally appears, preparation allows you to recognize it and respond wisely. There will always be people searching for the fastest path. They may achieve quick attention, but attention is not the same as lasting influence. Lasting influence belongs to people whose character has been tested through time. Trust is built slowly. Respect is earned gradually. Leadership develops through consistent example rather than impressive speeches. Protect yourself from becoming discouraged by temporary disappointments. Every meaningful journey includes moments that test your commitment. Instead of asking why the path feels difficult, remind yourself that difficult experiences often develop qualities that comfortable experiences never could. Strength Patience, wisdom, and resilience are not learned through ease, they are learned through faithful perseverance. Spend time reflecting on the person you are becoming, rather than only the goals you are chasing. Achievements matter, but character matters even more. A person with strong character can rebuild after failure, recover from disappointment, and continue growing through change. A person without character may gain success, but struggle to keep it. Each evening, review your day with honesty. Did your actions reflect your values? Were you patient when tested? Were you dependable when responsibilities appeared? Did you choose integrity over convenience? These questions gradually shape a stronger life because they keep your attention focused on personal growth instead of public image. Never underestimate the quiet power of remaining faithful to what is right. Every honest choice strengthens your foundation. Every disciplined action increases your confidence. Every day of steady effort adds another layer to the person you are becoming. You may not notice dramatic changes from one day to the next, but over time you will look back and realize that quiet persistence has transformed your thinking, your habits, your relationships, and your future. A strong character is not created in a single decision. It is built through thousands of ordinary choices made with care, consistency, and integrity. Keep showing up. Keep learning, keep improving, keep honoring your values whether anyone notices or not. In the end, the greatest achievement is not simply reaching a destination. It is becoming a person of wisdom, discipline, honesty, and quiet strength along the way. Chapter 7. Create better habits without seeking attention. Many people dream about changing their lives, yet they overlook the place where real change begins. It does not begin with a public announcement. It does not begin with proving something to other people. It begins with a habit. A single habit may look small today, but when repeated with patience, it quietly changes the direction of an entire life. Your future is not created by one extraordinary day. It is created by the ordinary things you choose to do again and again. Every morning you are becoming someone. Every evening you are reinforcing a pattern. The question is not whether you have habits. The question is whether your habits are building the life you truly want. Many people want the reward before they are willing to embrace the routine that produces it. They admire confidence but ignore the daily practices that create confidence. They admire wisdom but spend very little time learning. They admire healthy people while refusing to care for their own bodies. Every result has a pattern behind it. If you want a different future, begin by changing the pattern. One mistake many people make is believing every improvement needs to be shared. They feel the need to announce every goal, every plan, and every new beginning. There is nothing wrong with sharing success at the right time, but be careful not to replace progress with conversation. Talking about improvement can sometimes create the temporary feeling of accomplishment without producing real change. There is great strength in becoming a quiet worker. Imagine waking up each day with one purpose, not to impress anyone, not to collect praise, simply to become a little better than yesterday. That kind of thinking removes unnecessary pressure. Your attention stays on your own growth instead of wondering who is watching. Some of the most important changes happen long before anyone else notices them. A person who decides to read every morning becomes wiser page by page. A person who chooses healthier meals becomes stronger meal by meal. A person who practices patience becomes calmer conversation by conversation. These changes are almost invisible in the beginning, yet they become impossible to ignore after enough time has passed. Habits shape your identity more than occasional decisions. Anyone can make a good choice once. The greater challenge is making that same choice consistently. Every repeated action sends a message to your mind about the kind of person you are becoming. If you regularly keep your commitments, your mind begins to see you as dependable. If you repeatedly avoid responsibility, your confidence slowly weakens. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. A dramatic effort that lasts 1 week has less value than a simple routine that continues for years. Slow improvement may seem ordinary, but it produces extraordinary results because it never stops building. Choose habits that match the future you desire. If you want greater wisdom, create a daily learning routine. If you want stronger relationships, practice listening with full attention. If you want financial stability, develop the habit of spending carefully and saving regularly. If you want inner peace, make time each day to think quietly instead of filling every moment with noise. Your habits should solve problems before they become emergencies. Waiting until your health declines before exercising creates unnecessary struggle. Waiting until your finances become difficult before learning discipline creates unnecessary pressure. Wise people prepare before problems become larger. They understand that prevention often requires less effort than recovery. Another important lesson is learning to enjoy the process instead of becoming obsessed with immediate results. Many people stop because they expect visible progress too quickly. They become discouraged after a few days because everything still looks the same. They forget that meaningful change often begins beneath the surface. Think about learning a new skill. During the first few attempts, improvement feels slow. Mistakes are common. Progress is difficult to notice. Then one day, something changes. The practice that once felt difficult becomes natural. That change did not happen overnight. It happened because steady effort quietly built new ability. Your habits should make your life simpler rather than more complicated. Keep them practical. Wake up at a consistent time. Organize your responsibilities before the day becomes busy. Read a few pages instead of waiting for hours of free time. Stretch your body. Drink enough water. Speak kindly to people. Finish today's responsibilities before creating tomorrow's worries. These simple actions may never become popular topics of conversation, but they create a stable and meaningful life. Be careful not to chase attention while neglecting substance. Attention is temporary. Character lasts much longer. Recognition comes and goes. Good habits remain with you. Build the part of your life that continues growing even when nobody is watching. There is also wisdom in protecting your progress from unnecessary opinions. Every time you begin improving, someone may question your choices. They may not understand why your schedule has changed. They may wonder why you spend less time on distractions and more time on personal development. Do not become discouraged. You are not required to explain every healthy decision. Continue building quietly. One helpful practice is keeping promises that only you know about. Decide to complete a meaningful task each day without telling anyone beforehand. Finish it because your own standards matter. This creates a deep sense of personal integrity. You begin acting from conviction instead of seeking approval. The quality of your mornings influences the quality of your habits. Begin each day with intention instead of confusion. Decide what deserves your best attention before outside demands begin pulling you in different directions. A clear beginning often leads to a productive day. Your evenings deserve attention as well. Before ending the day, spend a few moments reviewing your choices. Which habits strengthened your future today? Which ones weakened it? Honest reflection creates awareness, and awareness creates improvement. Growth becomes easier when you regularly learn from your own experiences. Discipline becomes more natural when your environment supports your goals. Place helpful things within easy reach. Remove distractions whenever possible. Keep your learning materials organized. Prepare for tomorrow before going to sleep. Small adjustments to your surroundings reduce unnecessary resistance and make good decisions easier to repeat. Another powerful habit is finishing what you begin. Many people enjoy starting because beginnings feel exciting. Fewer people enjoy completing difficult work because completion requires endurance. Every finished responsibility strengthens your belief that you can be trusted. That trust becomes one of your greatest personal strengths. There will be moments when nobody notices your effort. Continue anyway. There will be days when your improvement seems invisible. Continue anyway. There will be times when you wonder whether these small routines truly matter. Continue anyway. Every worthwhile habit requires patience before it reveals its full value. Avoid becoming discouraged by occasional mistakes. Missing one day does not erase months of progress. The important thing is returning to your routine without allowing guilt to become another excuse. Strong habits are built by people who recover quickly instead of expecting perfection. Remember that your actions quietly influence other people even when you are not trying to inspire them. Family members notice your consistency, friends notice your calm attitude, co-workers notice your reliability, children notice your example. People often learn more from what they observe than from what they hear. Your habits become a silent form of leadership. There is a deep sense of freedom that comes from knowing your life is built on principles instead of appearances. You no longer need constant recognition because your satisfaction comes from becoming stronger each day. You no longer measure success by applause because you understand that lasting success is built in private long before it becomes visible in public. Protect yourself from becoming impatient with your own journey. Every meaningful achievement has required time, discipline, and repeated effort. Respect the process. Respect the routine. Respect the small choices that seem ordinary today but become extraordinary when practiced faithfully over many months and years. One quiet habit can improve your thinking. One honest habit can strengthen your relationships. One disciplined habit can transform your career. One healthy habit can improve your physical and emotional well-being. Never underestimate the power of one consistent action repeated with purpose. As your habits improve, your confidence grows naturally. You do not need to convince yourself that you are becoming stronger because your daily actions provide the evidence. You wake up knowing you are living according to your values. You finish each day knowing you honored your commitments. That quiet confidence is more valuable than temporary praise because it cannot be taken away by changing opinions. Create better habits because they honor the life you have been given. Build them with patience instead of pressure. Protect them with discipline instead of excuses. Continue practicing them without needing an audience. The strongest foundation is built where very few people are looking. One faithful day leads to another. One wise decision leads to another. And over time, Those simple routines shape a life filled with purpose, integrity, peace, and lasting strength. Your greatest transformation will never begin with attention from the world. It will begin with the private choices you make when only you know the effort you invested. Chapter 8. Value daily progress above public recognition. There is a quiet danger that many people never notice until years have passed. They become more interested in being seen than becoming better. They measure their worth by applause instead of growth. They celebrate attention while neglecting improvement. At first, this habit feels rewarding because recognition brings excitement. But excitement fades quickly, and when it does, many people discover they have spent years chasing approval instead of building a stronger life. Real progress is different. It does not always attract attention. It often happens in silence. It appears in the decisions you make before the day begins. It appears in the patience you show when nobody expects it. It appears in the discipline you practice, even when there is no reward waiting at the end. These moments may never become headlines, but they shape the person you become. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is learning to appreciate steady improvement without needing constant praise. The moment your happiness depends on other people's recognition, your peace becomes fragile. Some days people notice your effort. Other days they are busy with their own lives. If you depend on their approval, your confidence rises and falls with circumstances you cannot control. Think about how often people overlook quiet progress. Nobody celebrates the page you read this morning. Few people notice that you chose patience instead of anger during a difficult conversation. Very few recognize the evenings you spent learning while others wasted time. Yet these moments matter because they are creating a stronger future, one decision at a time. A meaningful life is built through private victories long before public success appears. Every skill begins at a beginner's level. Every wise decision begins as a small choice. Every trustworthy reputation begins with one honest action, repeated many times. The world usually notices the finished result, but the foundation was built long before anyone was paying attention. Do not underestimate the value of one productive day. One day may seem small when viewed by itself, but days become weeks, weeks become months, and months become years. A single day of learning may not change your life immediately, but thousands of days spent improving will create a completely different person. Many people become discouraged because they compare their quiet progress with someone else's visible achievements. This comparison creates unnecessary pressure. You cannot see another person's entire journey. You do not know the sacrifices they made, the disappointments they overcame, or the years they invested before anyone noticed them. Comparing your beginning with another person's results steals the joy of your own progress. Instead of asking whether other people notice your improvement, ask whether you are becoming stronger than you were yesterday. Did you think more clearly today? Did you make wiser choices? Did you manage your time better? Did you treat people with greater respect? These questions keep your attention where it belongs. They focus on personal development instead of public opinion. Progress deserves celebration even when it appears small. Reading 10 pages may not sound impressive, but it expands your understanding. Walking each evening strengthens your health. Saving a small amount each week develops financial discipline. Speaking kindly during stressful moments strengthens your character. These actions may never receive applause, yet they quietly improve every area of your life. There is a difference between performing for attention and living with purpose. Performance depends on an audience. Purpose depends on principles. A person driven by attention changes direction whenever applause changes. A person driven by purpose remains steady because their values do not depend on public reaction. Many people delay meaningful work because they believe it is not important unless others notice it. That belief prevents countless dreams from becoming reality. Every meaningful achievement begins before recognition exists. Every successful career begins before anyone knows your name. Every respected leader first learns to lead themselves. Be patient with your own journey. Growth is rarely dramatic from one day to the next. If you watch a tree every hour, it appears unchanged. Yet after enough time, its growth becomes undeniable. Personal development follows the same pattern. Daily improvements may seem invisible at first, but they quietly reshape your thinking, your habits, and your future. One important lesson is learning to enjoy the satisfaction of keeping promises to yourself. There is a deep confidence that develops when you consistently follow through on your commitments. You no longer depend on compliments because your own actions provide proof of your progress. Each completed responsibility reminds you that you can trust yourself. Avoid measuring your value through numbers alone. Numbers can be useful, but they do not tell the complete story. A larger audience does not always mean greater wisdom. More attention does not always mean deeper character. Recognition may increase your visibility, but it cannot replace integrity, discipline, or kindness. Protect yourself from becoming distracted by temporary popularity. Trends change quickly. Public interest moves from one thing to another. If your purpose changes every time attention shifts, you will never build anything lasting. Strong foundations are built through consistency, not constant change. There will be moments when your effort feels unnoticed. Continue anyway. There will be seasons when your work receives little appreciation. Continue anyway. There will be days when you question whether your progress matters. Continue anyway. The greatest rewards often arrive after long periods of faithful effort. Your life is not a competition against everyone around you. It is an opportunity to become the best version of yourself. Every person has different experiences, different responsibilities, and different opportunities. Focus on your own path. Improve your own habits. Learn your own lessons. Build your own character. Daily progress also requires honest reflection. At the end of each day, take a few quiet moments to examine your choices. What did you learn today? Which decision made you stronger? Where can you improve tomorrow? Honest reflection keeps you moving forward because it transforms experience into wisdom. Remember that every meaningful goal requires patience. Learning a language takes time. Building a successful career takes time. Strengthening relationships takes time. Developing wisdom takes time. Nothing valuable grows overnight. Accept this reality with confidence instead of frustration. Do not become discouraged by slow seasons. Sometimes progress appears hidden because important changes are happening inside you. You may be developing greater patience. You may be learning emotional control. You may be becoming more dependable. These qualities are difficult to measure, yet they become some of the greatest strengths you will ever possess. Pay attention to the direction of your life rather than the speed of your progress. A person walking steadily toward the right destination will eventually arrive. A person running without direction only becomes exhausted. Make sure your daily choices are leading you toward the life you truly want. One beautiful truth about personal growth is that nobody can take it away from you. Skills remain with you. Wisdom remains with you. Character remains with you. These treasures continue increasing in value because they influence every decision you make for the rest of your life. Be grateful for each opportunity to improve. Gratitude changes the way you experience the journey. Instead of becoming frustrated by how far you still have to go, you begin appreciating how far you have already come. You notice strengths that once seemed impossible. You recognize habits that have become natural. You realize that yesterday's struggles have become today's lessons. The strongest confidence is built quietly. It comes from knowing you honored your responsibilities today. It comes from recognizing that you made decisions aligned with your values. It comes from understanding that your future is becoming stronger because your present choices are becoming wiser. As you continue growing, resist the temptation to seek constant validation. Validation feels pleasant for a moment, but purpose provides lasting fulfillment. Public recognition may come, or it may not. Either way, your commitment to personal excellence should remain unchanged. Build a life that satisfies your conscience before it seeks anyone else's approval. There is tremendous freedom in knowing that your greatest competition is the person you were yesterday. Every lesson learned is progress. Every fear faced is progress. Every healthy habit strengthened is progress. Every act of honesty is progress. Every moment of patience is progress. These victories deserve your respect because together they create a remarkable life. Keep your attention on becoming wiser rather than becoming more visible. Keep your heart focused on serving others through the quality of your character instead of the size of your audience. Continue improving your mind, your habits, your relationships, and your integrity, whether anyone notices or not. The world may celebrate loud achievements, but lasting fulfillment comes from quiet growth. Value each day as another opportunity to become more disciplined, more thoughtful, more dependable, and more compassionate. Let your progress become your reward. Let your character become your reputation. Let your consistency become your strength. Years from now, you will discover that the life you truly wanted was never built through public recognition. It was built one faithful day at a time, through countless private decisions that made you stronger than you had ever imagined. Chapter 9. Trust yourself during every difficult decision. Every meaningful life is shaped by decisions. Some choices are simple and require very little thought. Others test your courage, your patience, and your confidence. Those difficult moments often arrive without warning. One conversation can change your direction. One opportunity can ask you to leave your comfort behind. One challenge can force you to choose between what feels easy today and what will serve you well for years to come. Many people become trapped because they fear making the wrong decision. They spend so much time searching for certainty that they never move forward. They wait until every question has an answer. They hope for complete clarity before taking the next step. Life rarely works that way. Most important decisions require faith in your preparation, your values, and your ability to adapt along the way. There is a quiet strength that develops when you learn to trust yourself. This does not mean believing you know everything. It means believing that you can think carefully, learn from experience, and handle whatever follows. Confidence is not the absence of uncertainty. Confidence is the willingness to continue even when the future cannot be fully seen. Think about how many decisions you have already survived. There were moments that once seemed impossible. There were days when you questioned yourself. There were situations that kept you awake at night. Yet, here you are. You learned. You adjusted. You continued growing. Every challenge left behind more wisdom than it first appeared to contain. Too many people underestimate the knowledge they have already earned through experience. Every disappointment taught you something. Every mistake revealed a lesson. Every responsibility strengthened your judgment. Your past has been preparing you for decisions you face today. Respect those lessons instead of doubting them. When a difficult choice appears, do not allow fear to become your only advisor. Fear often speaks loudly, but it rarely tells the complete story. It focuses on everything that could go wrong while ignoring everything that could go right. If you only listen to fear, you will remain standing at the starting line while opportunities quietly pass by. A wiser approach is to ask honest questions. Does this decision align with my values? Will it help me become the person I want to become? Am I choosing this because it is right, or because it feels comfortable? These questions bring clarity because they move your attention away from temporary emotions and toward lasting principles. Never confuse temporary discomfort with a bad decision. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it asks you to leave familiar routines. Learning a new skill feels awkward before it becomes natural. Accepting greater responsibility feels heavy before it becomes rewarding. Speaking with honesty during a difficult conversation feels stressful before it creates peace. Discomfort is sometimes the price of becoming stronger. One mistake many people make is allowing everyone else to decide their future. They ask 10 different people for advice and become more confused with every conversation. Advice has value, especially from wise and experienced people. But remember that nobody else lives with the consequences of your choices every day. Gather insight, think carefully, and then make your own decision with integrity. There is an important difference between seeking wisdom and surrendering responsibility. Wise people listen with humility, but they never abandon their ability to think for themselves. They understand that guidance can illuminate the path, but walking the path remains their own responsibility. Your intuition becomes stronger when your life is built on honesty and discipline. A person who regularly reflects on their experiences develops clearer judgment over time. This is why quiet thinking is so valuable. Spend time away from constant noise. Give your mind room to process important questions. Many answers become clearer when your thoughts are no longer competing with endless distractions. Do not rush decisions simply because you feel pressured. Important choices deserve careful attention. Pause long enough to examine the facts. Consider the long-term effects rather than only the immediate comfort. A patient decision made with wisdom often saves years of unnecessary regret. At the same time, avoid becoming trapped by endless hesitation. There is a moment when thinking must give way to action. Preparation has its place, but eventually you must step forward. Waiting forever does not create better decisions. It often creates missed opportunities. Trust grows through experience. The first time you make a difficult decision, your confidence may feel uncertain. The second time becomes slightly easier. Over time, you begin recognizing that you are capable of handling situations that once seemed overwhelming. Your belief in yourself increases because your own experiences provide evidence. One valuable habit is learning from every decision instead of judging yourself harshly. Not every choice will produce perfect results. Sometimes you will discover a better path only after making a mistake. That does not mean the experience was wasted. It means your understanding has become deeper. Every honest lesson strengthens your future judgment. Life is not asking you to become perfect. It is asking you to become wiser. Wisdom grows through reflection, responsibility, and continued learning. Every challenge becomes another teacher if your attitude remains open. Pay attention to your personal values because they become your compass during uncertain moments. If honesty matters to you, let honesty guide your decision. If kindness matters, let kindness shape your response. If integrity matters, refuse shortcuts that violate your principles. Values provide stability when emotions become unsettled. There will be times when the easier choice is not the better choice. Speaking the truth may feel uncomfortable, but it protects your character. Walking away from unhealthy influences may feel lonely, but it protects your future. Investing time in learning may require sacrifice, but it creates opportunities that comfort never will. Another important lesson is accepting that no decision removes every risk. Every path contains uncertainty. Staying where you are carries risks. Moving forward carries risks. The question is not whether risk exists. The question is, which risk aligns with the future you truly want to create? Many people become discouraged because they expect certainty before commitment. Yet certainty often arrives after commitment. Once you begin moving, new information appears, new relationships develop, new abilities emerge. Progress creates opportunities that standing still never reveals. Be careful not to allow one disappointing outcome to destroy your confidence. A single setback does not define your ability to make wise choices. Every thoughtful person has experienced moments they would handle differently today. Growth comes from understanding those moments, not from becoming imprisoned by them. Another source of strength is remembering that difficult decisions often reveal your true priorities. When two paths compete for your attention, ask which one reflects the life you want to build. Your answer may require sacrifice, but meaningful goals often ask you to give up something temporary for something lasting. There will be voices that encourage you to choose the easiest option. There will also be voices that expect you to follow their plans instead of your own convictions. Listen respectfully, but remember that your life is your responsibility. Do not allow outside pressure to silence the quiet wisdom you have developed through your own experiences. Spend time strengthening your inner confidence through preparation. Read books that expand your thinking. Learn from people of strong character. Reflect on your past victories. Keep your promises to yourself. Every one of these habits increases your ability to trust your own judgment because they strengthen the foundation beneath your decisions. One of the most powerful moments in life comes when you stop asking whether you are ready and begin asking whether you are willing. Readiness is often incomplete. Willingness opens the door to growth. The willingness to learn, to adapt, to remain humble, and to continue moving forward creates remarkable resilience. Every evening, give yourself permission to learn from the day's decisions without carrying unnecessary guilt. Celebrate the choices that reflected your values. Examine the moments where improvement is needed. Then rest, knowing that tomorrow offers another opportunity to apply what you have learned. Your future will not be shaped by avoiding every difficult decision. It will be shaped by facing those moments with honesty, courage, patience, and responsibility. Trust yourself, because you have already overcome challenges that once seemed impossible. Trust yourself, because your character has been strengthened through discipline and experience. Trust yourself, because every lesson you have learned has prepared you for the road ahead. Walk forward with a calm mind and a steady heart. Accept that uncertainty is part of every meaningful journey. Continue making decisions that reflect your principles rather than your fears. Over time, you will discover that the greatest confidence does not come from knowing exactly what will happen next. It comes from knowing that whatever happens, you have developed the wisdom, resilience, and character to meet it with strength. Chapter 10. Inspire others by living your best life. The greatest influence you will ever have on another person will not come from the words you speak. It will come from the life you choose to live. People pay attention to actions far more than promises. They remember how you treated others, how you handled difficult moments, and how you continued growing even when life became challenging. Your example has the power to reach people in ways that speeches alone never can. Many people believe they must become famous before they can inspire others. That is not true. Inspiration begins much closer than that. It begins inside your home. It begins in your workplace. It begins in the conversations you have with friends. It begins with the way you greet people, the way you honor your commitments, and the way you respond when life does not go according to plan. You never truly know who is watching your example. A child may be learning from the way you handle disappointment. A friend may be finding hope because they see you refusing to give up. A co-worker may decide to improve because they notice your discipline and your honesty. Most influence happens quietly. It grows through ordinary moments that seem small at the time, but become unforgettable in someone else's life. The world does not need more people who simply talk about success. It needs more people who live with integrity. It needs people whose words match their actions. It needs people who remain kind when kindness is difficult. It needs people who stay honest when dishonesty appears easier. It needs people who continue learning long after others stop growing. Living your best life does not mean living a perfect life. Perfection is impossible. Every person makes mistakes. Every person experiences setbacks. Every person faces moments of doubt. The difference is found in the willingness to keep improving. People are encouraged by real progress because it reminds them that change is possible for them as well. Do not hide your growth because you fear being misunderstood. Continue becoming stronger. Continue developing your abilities. Continue improving your character. Your steady progress gives silent permission for others to believe that they can improve their own lives too. One of the most beautiful things about personal growth is that it naturally spreads. When you become more patient, the people around you often become calmer. When you become more responsible, others begin expecting more from themselves. When you choose gratitude instead of constant complaining, your attitude changes the atmosphere around you. Your example creates a ripple that reaches farther than you can see. Many people try to change others through pressure. They give advice that nobody asked for. They criticize every mistake. They become frustrated when people refuse to listen. Real influence works differently. It begins with becoming the kind of person whose life makes others curious. They notice your peace. They notice your discipline. they notice your consistency. Eventually they ask what changed, and your example speaks before your words ever do. There is tremendous value in becoming dependable. People feel safe around someone who keeps their promises. Trust grows when others know your actions are consistent. If you say you will help, you help. If you accept responsibility, you complete it. If you make a mistake, you admit it honestly. These qualities may seem ordinary, but they are becoming increasingly rare, and because they are rare, they leave a lasting impression. Never underestimate the power of simple kindness. A respectful conversation can restore someone's confidence. A sincere compliment can brighten a difficult day. A patient response can calm an emotional situation. A small act of generosity can remind another person that goodness still exists. These moments often require very little effort, yet their impact can last for years. The strongest leaders understand that leadership begins with self-leadership. Before you can encourage others to become disciplined, you must practice discipline yourself. Before you expect honesty from others, honesty must become your standard. Before you encourage courage, you must face your own fears with determination. Your private life becomes the foundation of your public influence. There will be times when people misunderstand your intentions. Continue choosing what is right. There will be moments when your effort goes unnoticed. Continue serving with excellence. There will be seasons when your kindness is not returned. Continue showing kindness anyway. Your values should never depend on another person's behavior. They should reflect the kind of person you have decided to become. One important lesson is learning to celebrate the success of other people. Insecure individuals feel threatened when someone else succeeds. Wise individuals feel inspired. They understand that another person's achievement does not reduce their own opportunities. Celebrate progress wherever you see it. Encouragement creates stronger relationships than competition ever will. Your attitude becomes one of your greatest gifts. Every person carries burdens that cannot always be seen. Someone may be fighting discouragement. Someone may be worried about their family. Someone may be quietly facing loss. A hopeful attitude does not erase those struggles, but it reminds people that difficult seasons are not the end of their story. Practice listening with genuine attention. Many conversations are filled with people waiting for their turn to speak. Very few people truly listen. When you give another person your full attention, you communicate respect. You tell them that their thoughts matter. Sometimes listening with care becomes the greatest encouragement you can offer. Remember that success without character leaves an empty legacy. Wealth may impress people for a while. Position may attract temporary admiration. Titles may earn recognition, but character earns lasting respect. Years after achievements are forgotten, people often remember how you made them feel, how fairly you treated them, and whether they could trust your word. Do not allow pride to interrupt your growth. The moment you believe you have nothing left to learn, improvement begins slowing down. Stay curious. Continue asking questions. Continue reading. Continue observing wise people. Every lesson you learn increases your ability to help someone else in the future. Gratitude also strengthens your influence. Grateful people appreciate opportunities that others overlook. They recognize the value of another day to learn, to serve, and to improve. Gratitude creates joy that does not depend on perfect circumstances. People naturally feel encouraged by someone who notices blessings, instead of constantly searching for reasons to complain. Another important habit is forgiving yourself for past mistakes. while accepting responsibility for future choices. Carrying endless guilt weakens your ability to move forward. Learn from your past without allowing it to define your identity. Every day provides another opportunity to make wiser decisions. When others see you growing beyond your mistakes, they begin believing they can do the same. Use your time wisely, because your days become your life. Spend time strengthening your relationships. Spend time learning valuable skills. Spend time caring for your health. Spend time helping people whenever you can. The way you invest your hours quietly reveals what matters most to you. Do not become discouraged if your influence seems small. Every meaningful movement in history began with ordinary people making faithful decisions. Every family is changed by one person who chooses responsibility. Every workplace becomes better because one individual refuses to lower their standards. Every community grows stronger because someone decides to serve instead of simply watching from the sidelines. There will never be a perfect moment to become the person you hope to be. That journey begins with today's choices. Speak honestly today, show patience today, learn something useful today, encourage someone today, finish your responsibilities today. These actions may appear simple, but together they build a life that others naturally respect. As you continue living with purpose, remember that true success is measured by more than personal achievement. It is measured by the positive difference your life makes in the lives of others. Your knowledge becomes more valuable when it is shared with humility. Your strength becomes more meaningful when it lifts someone who is struggling. Your wisdom becomes more powerful when it guides another person toward hope. Every challenge you overcame has prepared you to encourage someone facing a similar battle. Every lesson you learned has become part of your ability to help another person avoid unnecessary pain. Nothing you have experienced is wasted when you choose to grow through it instead of becoming bitter because of it. Imagine reaching the later years of your life and looking back. The greatest satisfaction will not come from how much attention you received. It will come from knowing you lived honestly, treated people with respect, fulfilled your responsibilities, and left every place a little better because you were there. That kind of life creates a legacy that continues long after your work is finished. So continue becoming the person your values call you to become. Continue improving your habits, even when progress feels slow. Continue choosing integrity when shortcuts appear tempting. Continue showing compassion in a world that often rushes past people who need encouragement. Continue living with discipline, humility, gratitude, and purpose. Your life is speaking every single day. It is teaching your family, your friends, your co-workers, and even strangers something about what matters most. Make sure the message is one of hope. Make sure the message is one of courage. Make sure the message is one of honesty, resilience, kindness, and faithful effort. You do not need a stage to inspire people. You do not need perfect circumstances to leave a meaningful mark. Live your best life with quiet confidence and unwavering character, and your example will become a lasting source of strength for people you may never even realize you have inspired.